Boom. Welcome to another midweek market update here at PokeMarketLab, where we look at what's hot, what's not in the Pokemon market. If you're new here, welcome. We do a little bit of a crawl here every Wednesday just to break up the week, see what's going on with the market, look at what's down, what's up, just look at interesting stuff. And if you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, all that algo stuff, algorithm stuff is much appreciated. So grab a refreshment of some kind, sit back, relax, and welcome to PokeMarketLab. All right, let's get going. Paldean Fates. I think everyone who's been around the channel long enough knows I love this set. It's a fantastic set. You know, we have been getting some bundles for this recently. I don't know, not a ton of them, but we have been getting some of the market. No ETBs. To speak of here, just look how few of these are listed here on TCG Player, only 64. In this box, this ETB keeps marching on. The further away we get from the set release here and the further along we go without reprints on the ETB, it just becomes more and more collectible. Is the Pokemon Company going to come back and reprint the ETB? I hope so. I think this is too expensive too fast. This is too expensive compared to other, specialty sets. Just look at Prismatic, right? About the same price. It's kind of wild. I mean, Paldean Fates is good. I don't think it's Prismatic good. It feels a lot better to open. I can tell you that much. So $140 ETB, up 11% in the last month. And if you're not in tune with what's going on in the sealed market, that's actually quite a bit. Recently, the sealed market's kind of plateaued a little bit. Some boxes doing 1% up, 1% down here and there. 11% is pretty good. And that's just really due to the supply. It's a great set. I think if we didn't have bundles right now, this thing would be even higher. I think this is a little too hot for how new this set is. Remember, this came out January 2024, so just a little bit over a year now, about 14, 15 months old. So it's certainly within the reprint window. We're seeing Pokemon Company go pretty far back still right now on specialty sets and reprints in general. So I think this is an expensive box to be cheap. I certainly wouldn't be buying it at this price. I got a good foundation of these squirreled away, so I'm good. But I don't think I'd be chasing this at this point. But it is a great set. You have that Bulb Mew, you have the best Charizard in all of Scarlet and Violet, the best Gardevoir I've ever seen, and you get the Baby Shiny. So really good set, but I don't know that's $140 for that kind of money. You might as well spend a couple dollars more, literally a couple dollars more, and go after Crown Zenith. I always mention Crown Zenith. I'm sorry. I love it. Another one where, you're having a hard time finding sealed product that's up and performing well in the last month or so. Again, plateaued, up 15%. Pretty hard to beat. That's doing really well. And then possibly an opportunity, depending on how you look at it. Again, Crown Zenith can do no wrong in my eyes. We have the Crown Zenith Pokemon Center ETB, one of the best looking ETBs out there. Only 50 of these listed here in TCG Player, and actually down 13%. So yeah, quite expensive. $260 box, but maybe a buying opportunity. So as low as $260 shipped, maybe an opportunity. I can think of a lot worse things to spend $250 on. Great upside potential. I can easily imagine a world where this is a $500 Elite Trainer box. Remember, Sword and Shield, not super special in any way, shape, or form, but it's Crown Zenith, which is special, and it is a special looking box, and they are, you can tell here on TCG Player, pretty rare. So just pointing that out there. Seeing Sky Collection, another one out there. I haven't done the math on per pack prices. Still pretty similar, pretty much in line. Crazy how much of these came to market and how quickly the market gobbled these up. Less number of these on the market than Crown Zenith ETBs. So that's how much demand there is for these really good specialty sets. The specialty sets in the last few years have been chef's kiss. On to Scarlet and Violet base, having a hard time holding up this almost $200 price, $195, up 3% in the last month. And again, you're gonna see this kind of pattern here as we go through some booster boxes here in Scarlet and Violet, especially Scarlet and Violet base, where the price ran up on this. If you weren't in the hobby or weren't aware of prices when we first got into Scarlet and Violet, this did not do well out of the gate. We expected it to do well with Scarlet and Violet, but the focus was squarely on Sword and Shield at the time. Scarlet and Violet came out with just a whimper. It's okay for a base set. It's an okay set, but there's nothing really motivating in it for me. And I think the market thought the same at the time. So boxes quickly dipped under $100. So what's happened here, and this is kind of the story in Scarlet and Violet, is people don't realize how much Scarlet and Violet's actually been printed and actually out there. None of it's really old at this point. Prices of these booster boxes have gone up. This is well above what people are able to get it for upon release. So what's happening is, this price increase is just drawing a lot of sellers in the market. Look, you got over 400 boxes listed. I saw this get down to well under 200 at one point, and you're getting to the point where just people are trying to offload. People are trying. I think there's a little bit of a flight to safety where people are trying to get rid of boxes here, especially people who don't know what they're doing. And we haven't seen a ton of capitulation, meaning drop in price, where people are like, I don't care, I just want to get it gone at any price. I'm worried about not being able to get rid of it. We're not seeing that. There's still plenty of demand, but we're definitely seeing more boxes listed. And this hasn't, as far as I'm aware, gotten any kind of box reprint, booster box reprint. Scarlet and Violet base has, for the most part, remained untouched. I think we did see some ETBs come to Amazon today, actually, but no crazy reprints. So on to Paradox Rift, one of the best sets, I think, one of the pillar sets in Scarlet and Violet. It just does a whole lot of heavy lifting, really good cards, was super cheap for a long period of time. Same thing, really flat. This is absolutely the better buy than Scarlet and Violet base, even though it's a bit newer. It's a few sets deep into Scarlet and Violet. I still think, there's a lot less boxes listed on TCG Player because, again, I think it's a stronger set, selling per day a little bit better. I think if you're looking for a booster box under 200, you can do a lot worse. I think this is a fantastic buy. And its sister/brother set, Temporal Forces, same kind of thing, up 2% in the last month. If we kind of zoom out on these boxes here, you can see this climb that happened early, right in the fall, right when things were starting to boom. We went from $100 to over 100, right past MSRP in a very, very short period of time. This is another one right below $200. Either this or Paradox Rift, or get them as a set. I think they're very, very close in terms of artwork and impact power to me. I've always viewed them as they've always been very close to each other. I always, again, view them as sister sets. Obsidian Flame, same thing. Look at that percentage, just down 1.5% in the last month. Obsidian Flames is struggling under reprints. I'm very surprised that the booster box has not dropped in price, because the singles have massively. We only have $306 here in total value in this set. These singles prices, we saw that increase in the last few months, before the last few months, when singles just started to go through the roof. And that was true for Obsidian Flames. And now that those singles, we're certainly seeing, I would call it a crash at this point in singles in Scarlet and Violet. We're seeing massive capitulation. A lot of people speccing cards, trying to get rid of them as that price starts to drop. We snowballed up where a little bit of price action happens and people are like, oh, hey, there's some traction here. Let me get into that market. You're getting the same thing, a reverse snowball that's happening on the downside. Still some really good cards, but I don't think I'd be buying Obsidian Flames at 200. I think I would actually rather have Paradox or Temporal for $3 cheaper. So again, it's a fine set, but it's just, there's not a ton of value here. And we're not far enough through Scarlet and Violet. We're not out of reprint risk that we should start seeing, a separation in box price from cards in the box. I think there's just too much reprint out there for that to happen. Too much willingness and ability from the Pokemon Company to make reprints happen. Paldea Evolved is really the only one that's kind of breaking the pattern in the earlier Scarlet and Violet era, up to $240 here, up 7% in the last month. Not crazy gains, certainly not the type of gains we saw earlier in the fall. Just look at that increase here, that massive Pokemon Day release here, where we just we legged up really heavily in the in the fall here in price. So volume's been really good. Not a ton of boxes listed here. So this is obviously a fantastic set in Scarlet and Violet. So just a ton of good cards. And then let's go on. I'm getting ahead of myself here in cards. Let's look at Destined Rivals real quick. Interesting here. Actually down 16% in the last month here. I think this is just a vote on what we saw for card previews. I think much stronger than what we saw for Journey Together. I think that a lot of people have Journey Together in the back of their mind. So we're actually fairly not too far off what we saw for pre-sale pricing on Journey Together. So we're certainly seeing, I think when we saw previews, we jumped up to about $320 a box on TCG Player, and we've seen a pretty big reduction there in price. So whether that continues or not, we don't know. But I think this is not the blow away in terms of set that people were expecting. It's got great names. It's certainly got great cards. It's going to do well. But I think it'll be interesting to see what price we settle on release day and what that does to the confidence of the market. Does this price stay there? If this price stays there, can a Journey Together stay at 215? Because this is way better than Journey Together. So just interesting to see that reduction in price. I would not have guessed that. Plenty of boxes here pre-selling. Remember, this is all pre-sale, right? So this is only places that have a physical location. I think that's right. Yeah, physical location can sell product and pre-sell product on TCG Player. So there's a lot more product coming to market. And what I'm going to do, stupid NVIDIA, what I'm going to do is look at some pre-sale data and compare it to Journey Together and Surging Sparks and see if we're tracking the same direction. Japanese Gloria Team Rocket set. Remember, our Destined Rivals is in complete, back up. Destined Rivals includes Glory of Team Rocket and Heatwave Arena Japanese sets. So Glory Team Rocket booster boxes, Japanese here, about 22.5% down since release. So pretty significant drop there. So kind of see some correlation there in just market maybe too hot. So I think there was a lot of baked in expectation in Glory Team Rocket and Destined Rivals. So what's going to happen to the greater market if it falls flat upon release? Again, I think it's a solid set. I think it's better than Journey Together. Maybe in between Journey Together and Surging Sparks for me personally in terms of my set grade. What's going to happen to the market though when Destined Rivals releases and doesn't perform as people expect? Does that kind of deflate the overall market? We'll see, because we're already seeing some weakness there. And then on to Surging Sparks, definitely seeing the impact of some reprints here. So we see a lot of product on the market here. We see 480 boxes. So we haven't seen much in the way of price regression, right? We're actually flat month over month. I think what's happening here, two things. We're seeing some reprints at the market, and we're seeing we're gonna look at the singles here in a second. You're gonna see more of what I'm talking about. It's still a strong set. The market's still voting on it heavily in terms of set value. I think the market just gives it a vote of confidence. I think this is poised, though, again, if there's any kind of weakness in the market, this is poised to go lower. I think it's a strong set. It's one of the best sets. I think it is the best regular set in Scarlet and Violet, in my opinion. I just think we've seen a lot of reprints. I shouldn't say a lot. We've seen some reprints on the booster boxes, seen a lot of other things, though. We're seeing some more ETBs coming to market. We're seeing some more booster bundles, again, kind of fitting with the methodology, what the Pokemon company's been doing across the board for reprints. But I think with this, at the end of the day, seeing how much is on the market here, again, this is people bringing product to the secondary market because the price is high, because there's money to be made, because they sell. I mean, average daily sell rate in the last month, this is easily 6 months past release of 13 per day, is still extremely strong at $250 a box, almost $100 over MSRP. That is still very, very good. Destined Rivals is $25 more. I mean, and that's supposed to be, everyone was throwing out set of the century. So again, Surging Sparks, really, really strong. I think it'll do extremely well long term. I just think there's a lot of boxes on the market, so we'll see what happens. And then let's look at some singles here. Singles for Surging Sparks have been hit pretty heavily here. So let's actually take a look at total value in the set. We're about 1360. I think we were as high at one point, close to 1800 on set value. So pretty heavy reduction, 25% on the Pikachu EX. I had pulled one of these and actually sold it recently. And what we're seeing, the current listed quantity was extremely low at one point, down to 50 or 60. We've seen a ton of capitulation in the market on singles, not just Surging Sparks. I'm picking on Surging Sparks here, but a ton of capitulation on singles where there was a lot of speculation happening. And a lot of people are like, crap, I got to get out. And or there's money to be made, right? And they're bringing their singles to market. So we're seeing that current quantity listed extremely high, or it's jumped up. I don't have tracked data on that, but just from my daily looking at listings, a lot more card. I've been following this card. I had one, right? So I've been following it pretty closely. A lot more listed here than we've seen in the past. Melodic here, same thing across the board. It's every card here, and all the top cards in Surging Sparks. 20% on the Pikachu EX. This was a surprise post-release, kind of jumped up here. You can see that. All the way up to a couple $100. We've been cut heavily since its high. So, and all the way through Hydreigon here as well. So again, fantastic set. It's just this, if you were speccing on these singles, I've said it before, extreme caution. This is why sealed is king, because Sealed is a gamble on value, and that gamble on value creates this black box of not knowing what's going to be in there, right? A single is, its value is what it is. It's perceived in the market. It's realized value, right? We know its intrinsic value. Whereas booster boxes, it could be anything. You could have an Evolving Skies booster box. It could be nothing, or you could have Moonbreon in there, right? That's why that box is expensive. It is literally a unscratched scratch-off ticket. So that's our midweek market update. Suffice to say, just a kind of a high level view. Singles still, I would say, crashing at this point. We called it a soft market for a while, but I think we're past 12, 13, 14% reduction in overall singles value across the board in Scarlet and Violet in the last 30 days. I would call that a crash at this point. Sealed is still holding up well, but we're seeing some weakness. We're seeing some reduction in spend. I'm going to do a video on the state of Sealed this week, kind of give you a quick update. Again, nothing crashing at this point, but I think we're seeing some wallet fatigue. We're heading into warmer months. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I've been spending more time outside the last couple weeks, not as focused on Pokemon, still doing videos, of course, but just not day to day, minute to minute in it, of course. And so we're just seeing, I think it's a lot of wallet fatigue, and I think it's seasonal, and Destined Rivals is going to be could be a big turning point. We'll see. So again, if you like what we're doing here, leave us a comment, give us a like, and of course, we would love your subscribe. For you to subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it, and we will see you on the next one. PokeMarketLab out.